What's up, you guys? My name's Noah. I make music as Haterade here for Sonic Academy. Today's video is pretty cool. We are going to be looking at convolution reverb, specifically using Ableton's hybrid reverb. But we're going to go beyond reverb just a little bit, using convolution as more of a sound design tool than an actual reverb. And I'm going to explain how convolution works and how you can use it in your sound design arsenal. Before we jump into that though, be sure to check out sonicacademy.com for more courses. We have a ton of course material on there, over 1,300 hours across all kinds of genres. Go over there, check it out. There's a bunch of material for you. I know you're gonna like what you find over there. Okay, so looking at Ableton's hybrid reverb. It's got reverb in the name, isn't it a reverb? Well, technically speaking, yes, it gives us the option between a convolution reverb and an algorithmic reverb. Algorithmic reverbs are probably what you're most familiar with. Digital reverbs that create a false sense of space and what we all use in our tracks. Convolution reverb, on the other hand, is a little bit different. What it takes is the input signal and the impulse response from another signal and combines them together. And this is how they get those different types of software emulations of real life hardware. Is they take those impulse responses and then through convolution, you run your input signal through it. And it's just like you're sending it through that particular hardware device, but it's in software. So that's all well and good, but how can we use it in our own productions? Well, let's take a look at Ableton's hybrid reverb here for a second and talk through some of the controls. So right here, we have our parallel setting here. This is where the hybrid in hybrid reverb comes in. Because we're using a combination of convolution and algorithmic reverbs, we can play them in parallel so they're both playing at the same time. But in this case, we're only going to use the convolution setting. So right down here, you can see where it says convolution IR. That stands for impulse response. We can choose from a bunch of different stock impulse responses. And essentially, you can hear this. It just sounds like a reverb here. Turn that pre-delay down. Now we're not going to go through all the different controls within this hybrid reverb today. Maybe we'll do that in another video. We're just going to be talking about the convolution function. So right here we have our attack, which is how long the impulse response takes to actually come into full effect. And then we have our decay, which is, I'm sure you're familiar with most reverbs. Most reverbs have a decay. And that adjusts the length of your impulse response there. And then we have the size, and this is kind of cool. It sort of pitches it up and down depending on how far you go up or down. It starts at 100, but it goes all the way up to 500%. So the lower you bring it, the higher pitch sound it is. And the lower we go, and we can go through and pick all different types. Anything we want. So that's all well and good, but that just sort of sounds like another reverb, right? It's just the same as just putting an algorithmic reverb on there almost. That's true in some instances, depending on the sound that we're using. We're using spaces as impulse responses here, but what if we use like an actual sample? We can take a sound, like let's go over here. I have a couple of samples I picked out. We have this drum sound here, sort of like a bell there. So we drop that into our convolution reverb. Let's adjust the EQ here a little bit. And now we can sort of play with the settings and you listen to what happens now that we've applied that sound to our drum loop. It's combined both of those sounds together based on the input from this drum loop. Super cool. Let's try another one. There's one right here. It's definitely going to capture that impulse response of that reverb. So let's add that on there. And let's try this. super cool. Let's try out this drum loop here. This is what it sounds like. Let's try that. Let's put a drum loop impulse response over the top of a drum loop. It's giving it this crazy rhythm, super awesome. And we aren't even really done yet. Guys, listen to this. We're gonna put this guitar chord on the top of this drum loop. Listen to this. This is what the guitar chord sounds like on its own. All right, now applied to our convolution reverb. Pitch it down. So awesome. So not only can you do this once, you could do this multiple times to sort of stack the effects of convolution reverb here. I put this pad loop here on the first hybrid reverb. Sounds like this. And then we'll add a percussion sample here. Let's try this acoustic closed hat to finish it off here. And let's turn the size up on this closed hat too. Matter of fact, let's even try this this drum loop, because we got some good results from that last time. Let's try adding this thing on. You can see that there's just this wealth of possibilities that you can use convolution reverb for. Not just for creating reverbs in space, but actually sound designing and creating brand new samples, merging one synth with another synth, or a guitar loop with a drum sound, or a bass with a open hi-hat. There's so many possibilities. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope you learned something. If you did, be sure to hit like on the video and subscribe to Sonic Academy. And be sure to check out sonicacademy.com for tons of tutorials and courses on any genre of dance music that you could think of. Thanks for watching, guys.
Thanks everyone for watching. We really appreciate the support from you guys. If you liked this video, then smash that like button. And if you want to be notified about new content, hit the subscribe and the bell notifications. Peace!